All right, welcome guys. I'm BreakyCPK from Honcast.com. I'm going to be joined by Dog Kaiser of S2 Games, and you are tuning into an S2 Games presentation here. They got a special treat for you guys today. We are going to be showing off the new Spectator Interface, as you can see in front of your very eyes. Yes, that is a new Spectator Interface. Very flashy, a lot of information on it, but not too overwhelming at the same time. They're doing a fantastic job with it, of course. This is, of course, our show match, though. We got Fnatic.MSI taking on Online Kingdom here to kind of give you a show of both the new Spectator Interface as well as two new heroes, the Monkey King that you can see right here, as well as, of course, the Drunken Master that's being played No-Tail for Fnatic.MSI. So yeah, we got quite the treat for you guys today, and like I said, I am joined by Dog Kaiser of S2 Games. So first things first, say hello, Dog Kaiser.
Hey, Breaky, what's up?
Nothing too much. I'm just really excited to actually get access to this content and be able to show it to everyone. It's really exciting. Obviously, the Spectator Interface, of course, me being a shoutcaster, me being a person that watches a lot of Heroes of Newerth games, I am very, very intrigued by it, and so far, I pretty much love all of it, so I cannot wait to show everyone else.
This is definitely something we're excited about, too. I mean, it just looks so much cleaner. It's got, it's just got the information right in front of your face, a lot nicer to see. Super excited about it as well.
Yeah, and to kind of do a quick rundown of it again, because the point of this video is obviously there's some entertainment value. Yes, we're going to do a little bit of shoutcasting here and there whenever action picks up, but ultimately the point of this is to kind of give you an idea. As you see right there, the damage indicator just popping up. What that means, that's why I press the Z button. It actually goes to where the damage is happening on the map. Yes, that means no more missing bloodlust kills, at least in theory. Well, that's how it's supposed to work, but maybe knowing me, there's still a good chance I'll still somehow find a way to screw it up. But that's one of just, again, the many features that, of course, that S2 Games has added into the game as far as the Spectator Interface is concerned. So kind of do a little bit more of a rundown. Of course, this big bar at the top right here, that being the scoreboard. What used to be the scoreboard is still the scoreboard, of course, but a little bit more information on it. Of course, the hero kills left and right. Now this middle bar moving back and forth. The top one is actually the team gold, and the bottom one being the team experience. So it moves back and forth depending on what the advantage is for either side. And as you can see from these side marks right here, that is the overall number. And again, the damage popping right there. So press the Z button. If I was to go away, press the Z button. Look at that, goes right back to it. It is so awesome. But now you can see I'm scrolling through the numbers right here on the left and the right, and you can actually do it by percentage, by overall, or the difference in numbers. So great addition right there. How do you like the new scoreboard up top there, Mr. Dog Kaiser?
Well, it's definitely something that we were talking about, that we weren't real sure what we wanted to have to be the focus. And a lot of games you can kind of easily tell who's winning just by those two attributes. Kill counts, experience, and gold. It doesn't give you a clear indication of exactly who's winning. It can change a little bit, but it gives you, for the most games, it gives a very good indication of who's winning. So that's kind of the focus up there, or that's the reasoning for the focus.
Yeah, it definitely does. As we saw the bloodlust kill, as well as many other kills happening here really at the top lane. There's a little bit of action at the bottom lane. Uh-oh, Devoured a lot of trouble right now. Blacksmith and M4, can they finish off? Nice puppet show from Puppet Master right there on the Blacksmith. Going to prevent the overall damage from finishing off Devour, and he'll walk away in shame, but he has a health potion ready to go right back up. Of course, being played by Fresh Pro. Now, another thing you may notice as I am scrolling through, this new highlight feature that they added. As you can see, the green outline around Legion players and their units, and it's red outline, of course, for the Hellborn players and their units. So it's a great indicator. It can be turned off if you aren't a huge fan of it, if you don't like the whole change factor, but honestly, it really does help when you're in those team fights, when there's a lot of action going on. It's definitely a great way to see where your player, hero, whatever still is. And so in case if you do lose your eye on it, you can definitely catch it. And also works on towers. Basically works on every single clickable object in the game, I believe, as we see a Drunken Master and Monkey King once again going at it here in the middle lane. So a great middle matchup to have, 1 versus 1 between the two new heroes, as no kills just yet, but both doing quite the good job of harassment. But I want to keep going over the Spectator Interface. As you can see this movement right here, this is actually me pressing the tab button, so it even shows you a little bit more when I press the tab button. Of course, these tower kills come out, as well as the Bear X. So 6 and 11 for either team right now, of course, with none being killed. And the timer in the middle, pretty obvious there. But as you see, so I press the tab button and it actually can bring out the player bars on the sides to see their inventory on the side. So you can hold it down. We're talking about items, and you release when action is picking up like this. You see once again the damage indicator popping up. So press the Z button. It goes to Martyr right there. Martyr dropping fast, being played by the only one known one Diva right there of S2 Games. Actually going to take an invis though from his teammate Revenant, being played by Trixie, and going to live for now. In fact, they're going to try to turn this around onto Rampage. HoN going to stay alive barely. One more auto attack may do it. No, he stays alive. The buckler comes through. Martyr going to be taken out by Emerald Warden right there. Revenant going to try to finish off Rampage at least. Will get the kill, but now Trixie in a lot of trouble. We have a 2-for-1 exchange so far in favor of, or it's a 1-for-1 exchange, excuse me. Revenant dropping fast, probably going to be 2-for-1. No, he's just out of range, and Emerald Warden will not be able to finish off Revenant. So Trixie, being typical Trixie, able to get away in time, and a nice 1-for-1 exchange right there at the top lane. But so this nice tab feature, though, again, there's a lot to talk about, so trying to get all into that and get the input from Mr. Dog Kaiser on the cast as well. First off, I guess we could just say this much. Now, what are your thoughts on the sidebars, the player inventories, and being able to see their skills? Are you a fan of these new sidebars over here?
Huge fan of it. Like, even when I'm watching games, I can't stand, like, I have to go through all the different heroes to click and see what their inventory is. Now it's just one quick button, can quickly see any hero's inventory. I'm a huge fan of it.
Yeah.
And it's really easy to tell, like, they're different levels up. You got the little dots indicating what level they're at, and you got their cooldowns. You can even click on them to give number indicators if you want to even do that. It's very customizable. You can kind of do anything you want with it. You can even close them if you want, hide them, maybe you don't want to see them. We try to make it as user-friendly as possible, and so you can make it the way you want to make it, or you can watch games the way you want to watch them.
Yeah, and speaking about the customizable feature to an extent, as you're going to see right here, again, the tabbing, being able to tab in and out. Now, the F1 key, which is the default key for this setting right here, if I press the F1 key, as you see the player bars go away, press it again, they come back out. You can see the full player bars as well as the inventory screen, or you can change it to what I had it before. So basically 3 different ways to go about the side health bars. So again, I personally like the medium right here, where of course I just press the tab key and I can see the inventory, but having the inventory out at all times, maybe does take up a little bit too much of the screen. So, but this is again a very nice feature by S2, being able to just press a button, bring it out like this, so you can see everyone's inventory and check out the items. As there is action now picking up the bottom lane. Oh no, Puppet Master will be taken out between Blacksmith and Newerth. 1-for-1 exchange though, can devour, and Blacksmith makes something else happen. Doesn't look like it, but I think the Hellborn team pretty excited about that kill onto Puppet Master right there. So yeah, the nice player bars right there. Again, there's a lot to talk about, so let's keep it going. As you can see at the bottom down here, you might have noticed I've been switching through a little bit of these 5 bars here at the bottom. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They are labeled. So, of course, we'll start with the players bar. That's the players. You got your basic stats here. So your KDA, kills, death, assists, of course. You got your overall, or your experience per minute, excuse me. And then your gold per minute right here. And these tokens at the far end are actually the buyback tokens. Of course, and here's a Newerth. You now have the 2 buyback limit. And so that gives you an idea of how many buybacks each person has. Again, though, there's 5 total tabs, so you can switch to, like I'm doing right here, the stats tab right here. More overall stats, including hero and building damage in a percentage base throughout the whole game. So I really love that because, just looking at a base number really only tells you so much. As, again, the damage indicator, pressing the C button right there. And look at that. Goes right to Puppet Master, taking some damage at the bottom lane. Oh, no, we're going to press the Z button, go over to Emerald Warden at the top side as she's going at it with Martyr. But just a little bit of back and forth right there. So you see the stats, again, some fun stats with here, of course, including the creep kills and denies, as it looks like Martyr's going to be taken out. Gold per minute, of course, this is the really fun one. The stat that we look at all the time in Heroes of Newerth games, of course, and as you can see right here, they did a nifty way of going about it. As you can see, it's a bar-based stat. So it goes up and down, of course, the green meaning the Legion side, and the red meaning the Hellborn team, the individual portraits, so you can see which is which. And right now, as you can obviously see, both the Drunken Master and Puppet Master doing pretty well in terms of the GPM farm. Same thing for experience per minute as you go over to that one. And then even overall, or not overall, but percentage damage done in terms of hero damage throughout the whole game. So these nifty bars down here. Being able to switch between all these throughout the game, get stats whenever you want them is very, very nice and definitely a great customizable feature once again. Guys, your thoughts on the bottom bar there?
I love seeing the bars. I just remember with our old Spectator Interface, trying to see like who has the highest GPM. Sometimes you have to look through it. It's small text, not very visually friendly at all. This one you can just click it, or press your 3 button if you want, and then all of a sudden it's like who has the most GPM. Oh, look, Puppet Master. It's just at the top right there. It's quick and easy. That's the way we wanted to make it.
Yeah, it's just plenty of information at your fingertips, being able to switch between all of them. And again, the last scoreboard, as great as it was as far as spectating goes, and as I've always said, a big part that drew me into this game in the first place was the Spectator Interface, as I'm a huge fan of being able to watch the game as far as the competitive scene is concerned. But this just takes it a step further. Now, it was overloaded with so much information, but now you have your choice on which piece of information you want to go to, and again, it's just very pleasing to look at, really. It's very visually pleasing to look at, and it's very obvious in terms of what means what, at least in my opinion. And if you do have any questions, of course, you just scroll on over it, and it will have the tooltips in terms of what actually does mean what. So very, very useful information at the bottom there. I'm going to do my best, again, to keep it scrolling through. Obviously, the stat screen, want to keep it on that more so than not, as, again, the damage indicators popping up. You can see going up here to the top lane. It looks like a kill right there onto Revenant. Martyr going to take out Emerald Warden, though, so at least gets revenge for his fallen teammate. Well played, D.Va. Right there, playing that Martyr. Ringing for Nova, by the way, in case you haven't noticed, over here for Fnatic.MSI, as that he is. So another thing, of course, to point out in this Spectator Interface is, well, again, so I talked about the F1 key, being able to, move these side health bars with the 3 different options right there. F2 and F3 do very similar things. F2, of course, takes away the bottom. F3 takes away the top. Press them once more, and they bring them right back. So, again, another very customizable feature. And if anything, when a big action scene is coming on, you take off all of them, and all of a sudden you got this whole screen to work with. And speaking of action, we got Devour getting ganked big time down here. Going to try to make something happen, but in the end, falls to his death. And not much Puppet Master could really do down here, but you just bring them right back up at the click of a button, and there you go. It's simple as that. Very, very easy to work with. So, is there anything else I'm missing? Oh, you know what? There is.
Items.
Yes, I just saw them pop up as...
Saw the pop-up, yeah, that's right.
Yeah, right as you mentioned that. And, well, speaking of that, as again, we're going to wait and see if somebody else buys some items. But as you may have been noticing, in fact, we see right there, the Steam Boots being purchased by Monkey King. Yes, that is an indicator of when anyone buys an item over a certain threshold of gold. As you can see, it's currently set to 700. You can actually customize this as well. I can set it all the way down to 100, all the way up to 2,000. Probably, 200, I think, seems to make sense. You don't want to see all these homecoming stones and everything being spammed. But anything over that is really good information. So it's a notifier. It lets you know, of course, when something is being picked up, when something is finished, and that way you can then look in the inventory to double check, and sure enough, there you go. So items. I'm sure you love that, Kaiser.
I love it. So then you always have to look, like, when does he get his key or his portal key, or you got to look at the gold. When does he lose the gold, and what did he buy? You kind of know exactly what happens now. It just pops right up in your face. You don't even have to go like click on the hero, see what he has. Oh wait, is it in his stash or something, or is it on the... Oh, sorry, I got some action here. Probably should let you do that, but but you have it right there in front of your face rather than waiting for it, or having to go to it to figure it out.
Yeah, exactly. It's again, doing so many casts that I've done, spectating so many games, as you see Monkey King somehow managing to get away. Rampage going to pull in Drunken Master, and Monkey King going to even help finish off, dodging the last attack right there, and helps get the kill onto Drunken Master. Well played right there as a team, really, from Online Kingdom. But as you stated, it's really just one of those things. You're not reliant on necessarily the camera person if you are watching a game through a stream or whatever, in terms of them actually pulling up the items. Instead, it's just simply you can see it pop up yourself. for the second or so that it does pop up for again, and do my best. I'm sure as a caster or any streamer in general will do their best to constantly press a tab button and keep those inventories out there as much as possible to constantly give you an idea of who has what instead of going through each individual person, as it looks like Devour, no, not going to get away. The Hellborn team able to finish him off despite Puppet Master being played by Fnatic.MSI's Fly, doing his best to prevent the hero kill right there. So yeah, that pretty much takes care of it, though, for actually the Spectator Interface. Again, a very, very flashy interface, a lot of information, and I was really excited when I first heard about it / saw it, and now that I'm being able to use it, it's even that much better than I expected. As more action picking up in the middle lane, Puppet Master going to go down. We see Drunken Master using his ultimate ability right there. Again, we'll get into that in just a moment, talk more about that specifically, but he's in a little bit of trouble. The Wings from Martyr trying to help him survive right here. Monkey King wants to change it, though. No, Monkey King, yes, leaps in, gets the kill, but at what cost, as I would always say, ends up sacrificing his life to get the kill. But hey, it's a fun show match game. Nothing wrong with that, so well played between the two teams. But now, speaking of Monkey King and Drunken Master, as obviously action is going to continue happening, but let's start talking about those two heroes. We see. Let's start with Drunken Master. He's on the Legion side over here, going to be resurrecting soon. Now, Doc Kaiser, of course, being a balanced guy yourself, dealing with a lot of these new heroes and everything. What do you think of what do you think Drunken Master brings to the table? Or I should say it this way: what is he really labeled as far as the heroes in Newerth scene in terms of like is he strength carry or like what's the deal?
I would say he's more of an initiator. He definitely, with his lunge ability, that's his first ability, he can kind of jump on a target and move them in a different direction, whether it be towards his team, into an unsafe area, kind of wherever he wants to put them. It's also a stun. He has a stagger ability, his third ability, that allows him to disjoint things. It's got a very low cooldown, so if someone's trying to stun him, he can position himself closer to enemies if he needs to. It adds damage and movement speed. And how it adds damage and movement speed actually is with the second ability, his drink charges. He can, every time that he wants to, every time that he drinks, he gets what's called drink charges, and they increase his other abilities whenever he uses them. And if he doesn't use them for his other abilities, it passively regenerates his hit points. So I think you can hover over him, you should be able to, and you can see on the lunge, like at the very bottom, it'll say that reduces movement speed after the lunge is done if he has drink charges. And for the stagger, he gets more damage and more movement speed if he has drink charges.
Yeah.
Going to his ultimate's actually kind of what makes him that initiator type aspect. It gives him a timer-based null stone, essentially. So for a limited time, any single target spells cast against him are disabled. They don't have any effect, just like a null stone would. And the other part is if he has drink charges while that's going on, or when he casts it, sorry, not while it's going on. When he casts it, then he takes reduced damage as well, kind of giving him that initiator. I can get in there and focus on a target specifically, usually the DPS.
Yeah. And we see him right here. He's actually in a little bit of trouble. He's getting 2 versus 1 right now, trying to get away from this. He currently doesn't have his ultimate ready to go, but he's going to make it back to base. Turning around, and then there you see the first ability, I believe, of the lunge ability going off right there, but unfortunately not able to make too much work of it. It gets taken on the end, and you see Online Kingdom right there, the Hellborn team grouping up for a group heal from Nymphora. But yeah, doing my best, of course. Now I'm going to start focusing on Monkey King and Drunken Master as far as the rest of this game goes, to try to get some footage from them as them being the new heroes. That's what everyone wants to see. But Monkey King, so now he's the other hero, of course, in this game, being one of the 2 new heroes that is going to be coming out for Heroes in Newerth. So excited about that, and we're getting an idea of what they're looking like right here. Speaking of what they're looking like, Monkey King going to try to get away, and it looks like he may get the support he needs. The Hellborn team running in, Rampage running in. Going to be enough to scare them off for the time being, at least. But Monkey King, he's actually seeming to be doing fairly well this game. Of course, Spotlight video already being out, and definitely I'm sure many of you checked that. If you haven't checked it out, you'll definitely check it out. Great video. But, Monkey King now, let's talk about him, what he brings to the table. What really is, what would you consider Monkey King to be as far as in the Heroes of Newerth scene?
Probably that DPS role. Just kind of that carry, trying to output as much damage as possible, get some farm. He definitely, his Q ability benefits a lot from extra damage, being that it adds whatever damage he currently has, it also adds to every Q dash. And his Q being, or having 2 dashes if he hits the first one, meaning he essentially does double damage, whatever his damage currently is at. So getting damage on him, items on him quickly is always a good idea. You could, especially phase boots in my opinion, because he can get in, phase boots help you get in and get out, and also adds that 24 extra damage to each of your illusion dashes. So I would just definitely say adding damage on this hero is the key to it. You want to burst someone down with him. He's not your typical melee class where you want to just kind of sit and right click someone. You kind of want to be moving around as much as possible, come in and out, so long as your cooldowns are available to you.
Yeah, and he obviously being a very agile hero. It's agility, no, but he's a very agile hero, and he's constantly jumping around. He makes I personally see him as a very entertaining hero. I mean, as being, of course, a caster and a commentator, a spectator of this game, I love to see heroes like this, very action-oriented, constantly jumping around. Has a great voice acting as well, in my opinion. But you just see the movement of his, how he's hopping around on that stick of his, treating it like a pogo stick, jumping more and more around, looking to go in right here, but going to end up falling back as the Legion team not really giving him that solid opportunity, as Puppet Master going to poke damage at them. As you see, Drunken Master now going to help defend the tower for this time being, once again using that drink ability to enhance his other abilities, as you can see right here. So the Hellboard team, though, looks like they're going to be falling back for the time being. So they're going to be setting up a gank on a Revenant up here at the top lane. Of course, Revenant using that invis, but it's not going to matter. Going to be dropping soon after in the end. Going to using his second ability, but magic damage not nearly enough to scare them off. But you're kind of getting an idea right there, as well as, of course, him of Monkey King, that is, using that third ability of his to actually use it as the quote-unquote building to leap even further. So definitely a nice twist to the hero right there, and it brings some synergy between the abilities. Don't necessarily need to just use it on another hero, an opposing hero's Rampage. The one and only HoN playing Rampage and making it work this game. As you can see from the stats, currently 7-2-9. So, but yeah, I mean, has there been things in this game that you think is worth pointing out in terms of, especially from the new heroes, as Puppet Master gets taken out right there? But either Drunken Master or Monkey King are the things that are standing out to you that I think worth noting to the community in terms of things that they can expect to see from these heroes?
I think both of these heroes kind of have a high, or they kind of require a lot more skill than a lot of our other heroes. So I think it's too early to say just what can be expected out of these heroes, because I don't even think I've seen nearly what these heroes are capable of so far. Not in this game and not in all of our test games that we've had. They have a lot of good mobility spells, and I think there's a lot of uniqueness that both of these heroes can provide to the game.
Yeah, there definitely is, and they've definitely had their entertainment value this game as well. As Diva right there gets pulled in by Rampage, and HoN able to take him out with the assistance of his team. And in fact, Newerth are going to port right here. Looks like they're porting to the top lane, and who's up here? Actually, Revenant getting the kill onto Monkey King. Speaking of, by the way, that death animation, pretty sweet as well, the statue. But now Revenant dropping fast as the gank coming in, and actually Palzilla on Emerald Warden going to get the final shot right there with the silencing shot to do the job in. So a good kill right there for the Hellborn team at the top lane as they take out Trixie. And it seems like, now talking about the game, we haven't done too much talking about this specific game, as obviously we want to go over the interface and everything else. Another thing you may have noticed, by the way, while this game has been going on, is the new announcer, the British announcer. As I apologize if you haven't been able to hear it too well, obviously with us explaining and talking over it, might not be able to, but you can see the text and get an idea. As let's just say you're going to be amused. It's going to be a lot of fun, and I definitely recommend going and getting that announcer pack as soon as it does come out, with all these other things, of course. So, but that's pretty much it, though, as far as what we wanted to, of course, go over for this cast here for you guys, and to give you a sneak peek at what you can expect this Friday. So, is there anything else you can think of, Doc Kaiser?
I think you covered all the bases, Breaky.
Thank you. I did my best.
I would definitely like to say thanks to the competitors, both MSI and OK, for coming on here and doing this show match for us.
Yeah, it's speaking on that, of course, we really do appreciate that in the sense that they simply really were just doing this for the fun value. Oh my God, there's a lot of action down here at the bottom lane. Marty are going to somehow survive for long enough to try to maybe turn things around, taking out in the end. Drunken Master doing all he can in the midst of everything. Triple multicast going off on the frenzy from Blacksmith. Hold from Devour on a rampage, but that triple multicast on Devour, stopping him in his place. Nice knockback from Drunken Master, setting up a kill perhaps for Puppet. And yes, Puppet will get that kill. Monkey King jumping around, though, being the agility hero that he is. The Puppet Show can hold him in place for now. Rampage trying to finish off Puppet Master in the meantime, where Monkey King going to help chase on top of that, but not even necessary. Puppet Master goes down. Drunken Master going on to Monkey King now, but Rampage is too powerful. 2 versus 1. It looks like it's going to be a fall. Yes, it is, as Semiju, that is Semiju, actually a name change recently, playing the Monkey King, helps to finish off Noto right there on the Drunken Master. Although Monkey King in a little bit of trouble right now, using that flying Nimbus of his, though. Getting the boost of speed. Gonna look to jump Revenant right here. Little did Revenant know there's a Ward of Revelation down, and yes, they're gonna finish him off. And despite the MLA from Martyr, not gonna be enough damage. And Monkey King will portal back to base, or Homecoming Stone, I should say, and be just fine. So again, more of an idea of what both Monkey King and Drunken Master bring to the table, as we saw in the midst of that fight right there. But it looks like both teams deciding that's going to do it. That's enough, as obviously declaring a winner, just being a show match, really. They're all winners, but Online Kingdom, of course, victorious in this specific match here. So congratulations to them. But in the end, again, it was just for fun and to give us a show. So that we definitely got. Really appreciate both teams, as Doc Kaiser was mentioning. Both Fnatic.MSI and Online Kingdom. Great organizations, as well as great teams, of course. And happy to have them on playing a show match here to give us an idea of what these new heroes and what everything else looks like. So, but I believe that's actually going to wrap it up for us here. Appreciate you guys tuning in to this cast, and hopefully you got something out of it. And, of course, look forward to this Friday for the new patch coming out, which is going to include pretty much everything you saw here, from the announcer pack to Monkey King to Drunken Master, and of course this new Spectator Interface, my favorite indeed. Once again, a big thanks to Doc Kaiser, though, for coming on, helping to explain the thought process behind these things and what's really brought to the table, being the representative for S2 Games. So appreciate it, Mr. Doc Kaiser.
Hey, thanks for having me, and I definitely hope everyone enjoys this new Spectator Interface. I know I do, and I think everyone's going to have a much better experience watching games and watching shoutcasts.
Yeah, they definitely will. I can guarantee that, and cannot wait to see how things play out in the long run. So that's going to do it, guys. So again, thanks. That was BreakyCPK from Honcast.com. Joining me was Doc Kaiser of S2 Games, and you were tuning into this really S2 Games production here. Sneak peek to the new patch to come up, so stay tuned for that. But hopefully you guys enjoyed.